Hey folks, happy new year and welcome back to the channel. We're officially in 2023 and we are all hoping that this year is going to be a much better year, moving towards more positive things with actual things being built that we need and not so much building things that we have. And that's something we're going to be getting onto later, probably today. But for now, we're kind of focusing on the evolving situation around the centralization of voting power. And I've been saying about this for quite some time, and it really does take action from certain people's sides and also from the community to understand who's really putting work in for the Lunk community and who's actually putting in work elsewhere. Because what we really need is dedicated people that are dedicated to Lunar Classic and not actually looking for. So where we never want to find ourselves is with a development team that is willing to more or less, once funds dry up, ta-ta, there's no more money, see you later, bye-bye. Instead, Allnodes has always played an instrumental role before new validators came on board, and they've always been active in the community, and they're always trying to help out where they can. And they did have a 0% commission rate, as a lot of people knew to begin with, and they pushed that up to 5%, and it didn't really make a huge difference because 5% commission is feasible, it's normal, that's what all of us do. It's kind of this unwritten rule that 5% is okay for both sides of the pond. So they're actually increasing it to 10%, and this is in a hope from their side is to encourage more decentralization of the current voting power. Because what we saw was when KuCoin obviously pulled out what they pulled out, we saw, I think it was around just over a 50% reduction on the amount that is delegated overall. So our rewards went up and the amount bonded went down. Bonded is staked coins, delegated coins, however you want to put it, it's the same thing. We should really have like a glossary that comes up on screen and it's like shows you what it is. But anyway, this is really good because if you go to our validators list, you'll see that next to the nodes, there is what we consider a fair commission rate. And if you've got a blue tick, it's considering it to be more or less fair what you're doing from our perspective. And this is not so much a rule, and it's not us trying to point the finger at people, but we simply did the maths and we weighed it out like this. And you can see that there's people with 0% commission rates, and these are just not good. And you're going to see more and more people go for these in the coming weeks in an attempt to get more voting power. And it does work. As you can see, there's people climbing up the list quite quickly, and I have no doubt they'll likely overtake us with a 0% commission rate because it's an absolute no-brainer. But voting power's earned, and I feel like we've actually earned our voting power to get to where we are. And I feel that's very important to have not only the trust, but people on side with you, not because you're doing tomfoolery and trickery and things like that. No one can afford to, well, they can. I mean, if you've got as much money as some people, of course, but this is really good. And it just shows that the top #1 validator is doing things to inspire change. And this is really good. Some people should take note of this. So a lot of people are also currently, and I have no doubt you're sat wondering right now, Jay, why has the HTC factory not voted on the L1 task force? And there's many reasons. So what I want to say to people is, first of all, Strafe Cole is part of the HTC factory, and he will always remain part of the HTC factory because he does our lead development on stuff. So we were already compromised in a sense, so we have a conflict of interest there. And then we also have an emotional compromise. So we excluded Strafe from it. That left two of us, myself and Clueless. And we decided, because of the simple fact that we are emotionally compromised, it's not fair for us to vote on something like this, yes or no, because we're compromised. Any decision we make would be compromised on the basis that Strafe Cole was in this task force, so we're going to abstain from it. And I'm going to be putting the vote in after this. And yeah, it doesn't mean anything. And we could vote yes to make ourselves look really good and really chummy with people, but we're not trying to be like that. What we're trying to inspire is people to understand that sometimes if you're involved in a proposal or you're tied into it in some way, sometimes it's better for you to just abstain from it, for the simple fact that you've been compromised. There's some way, shape, form, however you want to call it, you have this whole thought in your head of, would you treat it differently if this person wasn't involved with it, and all those kind of things. So I think it's important for people to understand why we vote like this. And that's why I've put it in this video and explaining to people why we're going to abstain. We have voted for all the other things that are current, and obviously we did that like normal. There was no compromises, or we weren't, involved in anything like that. So really, really good to see that Allnodes is going to drop down to, going to go up to a 10% fee, because it's going to help a lot of nodes that are working and putting the work in to build, inspire people. And because what I said previously in my video is so important now as we go into 2023. If we just end up with a load of validators that don't build, don't do anything, don't contribute, but just talk, that's really good, okay? But we're going to get to a point where no one's building anything. No one's doing anything. There's very minimal people in the community that are actually doing stuff and building things and bringing stuff forward. And we just never ever want to end up with more or less a community of validators that are not able to fit the bar. And this is why it's so important when you become a validator, because you have a role. You're taking from the system, so you should be giving back to it. And just burning is not enough. I know a lot of people may disagree with that, but it's not enough. We need people to build things. We need people to actually utilize the technology, because there's no point in an L1 task force repairing things, creating new things for us to use if nobody's going to utilize it. I hope that kind of makes sense to people. To me, in my head, it makes total sense, because we're seeing this currently. Our most high quality validators are building on Luna, building towards Interchain and that route. They're not building towards Luna Classic. And the quicker people realize this, the better. And the quicker we get more high quality validators in a position where they can be funded, the better. Because then they're going to go off, they're going to build stuff, they're going to hire people, and they're going to find ways to innovate on technology. And, we've just seen so many people more or less building things that we already have, or, somebody's already built it. And I'm going to be doing a video on that, because I know a lot of people haven't listened to that 3-hour video. There's a lot of different things said in it. And, there's things that people should know, and it was removed. There are places you can go to get it. I ripped a copy myself straight away, because I knew the account was compromised, and whoever posted it for the greater good of the community, regardless of who posted it. And I know there's like so many different people bickering over, who has the better plan and who has the better ideas, and who should be in control of this and stuff like that. And it's just kind of funny to see people squabble. But hopefully with this proposal going through, that funding going to those people, everybody gets what they want and everything can keep moving forward. Let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know what you think about Allnodes moving their commission up to 10%. It's definitely going to make a huge difference, because 10% is a considerable amount. Just in this, it has the same effects for a 0% commission rate as to when you really ramp up a commission rate. And the thing is with Allnodes, they just don't need it. That's why they're burning it. And that's why they had a 0% commission rate before, because they just don't need it, which is really interesting. But if you know anything about Allnodes, they have nodes across the cosmos, outside of the cosmos. You can rent a node. You can just rent node space for nearly every blockchain out there. Oh, shooting pains on the back. Sorry, folks. They have so many different types of services that they do provide. And they're not bad people. And this is the really fortunate thing. And this is why I've always seen it as, yes, it's a problem, but it's more of a problem that Allnodes would need to address and deal with. The same way they're doing this, they would be probably, it would do them justice to do a post where they pretty much explain, the safety of validators, because a lot of people see Allnodes as this 100% safe, reliable node that's 100% safe over everybody else, and it's a big issue. And when they address things like this, it's totally different because it comes from the horse's mouth. It makes a huge difference. Anyway, let me know what you think about all of that in the comments section. Happy New Year. Hope you didn't drink too much. Stay safe. Beware of scammers. Don't trade on emotion. Trade on facts where you can. And none of this is financial advice. Catch you in the next one.
Our revenge is made possible by listeners like you. By listeners like you. Our revenge is made possible by listeners like you.